Hey guys, today I'm going to be showing you how to get this super bouncy wet set look. I made it so those who aren't very good at brushing out, it requires like this much brushing out. If you don't know what that is, then that's okay. We're going to figure it out. And yeah, so just keep on watching to see how to get this. Alrighty, to get started, I have freshly washed the night before hair. So basically I just washed it and then threw it up in a bun or a ponytail and went to sleep. This was later in the evening though, so I had done a couple things throughout the day, but no product was in my hair or anything. It's just dry, ready to go. The first thing you're definitely going to want to do, as always, is just brush through your hair and get all the kinks out. And then you're going to want to part your hair where you typically part it. And you will begin to see that I'm very anal about my parts and then how I section my hair. You can do it as loose or as not loose as you would like. I just like to have a very specific part. So then I'm going to take a very big front section. I like having big bangs. The bigger section you have, the bigger of a roll you can get. So then I just pin the rest of my hair back so it stays out of the way, because my hair always falls in my freaking face. And then you're going to want to do a dance, because you're going to see me dance through this a lot for some reason. It's feeling kind of weird that day. So what I do with my big top section is I basically split it like a plus sign. So I split it down the middle, and then I pin that section back. Like I said, just to keep it out of my face. And it makes it easier to work with the other sections. So then you have half of your big section. And then I have my water. That's how we're going to set. And then I have Motion's Foaming Wrap Lotion. So that's a setting lotion. You can use any kind you like. I like this one, and I'll keep a link in the description. So we're going to split it again. Then we add a little bit of water. I actually don't add a lot just because my hair doesn't dry that quick, so I don't like it to be too wet. Then I take a pump of my Motion's Foaming Lotion, run that through my hair. And then this next step is not necessary, but it's just me being anal again. I brush each section as I go. If you're in a hurry, it really doesn't matter. So then you're going to take 2 fingers and you're going to wrap your hair, and you definitely want to make sure you get those ends. Those ends are going to make it or break it. If you have loose ends on your pin curls, they're either going to fall out or you're going to have really straight ends and it's going to look weird. Then you're going to clip it. So these are upright pin curls. I'm going to do flat pin curls for the rest of my head, and then I do upright or standing pin curls for the top of my head because I'm not laying on that part of my head. You obviously only want to do upright pin curls on the top of your head, or if you don't plan on sleeping on them, or else you're going to flatten them and they're not going to come out pretty. And also, don't be afraid to mess up. If like I left an end out, I wanted to make sure I got that. It's definitely not a thing that you want to just let slip by sometimes, because it's fine in the grand scheme of things, but if it just keeps happening, then you're going to do all this work for nothing. Your set's not going to perform how you want it to. Like I said, plus sign. So now I'm doing the back 2 sections, just repeating with the water, wrap lotion, brush, and then roll. So with these, you can do it at an angle. So I did it at like a 45-degree angle and pin. Now let's do the rest of your hair. So these will be flat pin curls. So again, being super OCD, splitting my hair. This is what, see, look, this is why I clip it out of the way. This right here falls all up in my face. So these sections you can be a little bit more willy-nilly. I don't really have like a super plan. I know I want like 3 or 4 like rows. So I'm going to split this into my first row. So where the end of that pin curl section is the end of my first row. You'll see what I'm talking about. If I am confusing you, I am so sorry. It'll be okay. Again, repeat the process. Very monotonous. Monotonous. I know. So these are, you're gonna want to roll flat. So the more parallel with your head, the better. This just helps them stay down. It helps you get a better curl and whatnot. And as I said, these are flat. So as you can see, I'm laying them flat on my face and I'm clipping it down. Again, you're gonna definitely want to make sure you get those ends. And as you can see, this one is forward. And then I'm going to do the next ones backwards. I'm going to repeat that all across my head. So one row will go forward, the row after that will go backwards. It's just a good way to get a good wave in your hair. And guys, like, I used to freak out when you flipped it backwards. You literally just turn it backwards. Like, don't panic. It's okay. So forwards, backwards, forwards, backwards. Forward, backwards. Yeah, you get it. Here's a close-up. So I'd already applied the product and water to my hair. You take 2 fingers, roll it around, make sure you grab those ends. And so I go over, under, just always making sure that I have a grip on my ends so they don't get out of the way. And boom! I don't know why I didn't record more of this, but it's literally forward, backward, forward, backward, forward. As many times as you need. And then it's time to cover them. So I'll be wearing these around all day, so I typically use a cuter scarf, but you can use any kind of scarf. So I like the clear nylon ones, but I suggest if you're sleeping on them to use a silk scarf. They're just better for making sure you don't get frizz. But as I said, I literally run to like Walmart and Target in this getup, so at least if they can see under my scarf, they don't think I'm crazy because they're like, oh, it's just like curls. But if I just have a big scarf on my head and it just looks like I have like an alien brain under there, they look at me funnier. I know, I don't understand it either. I look funny no matter what. Who cares? So if you didn't see, I folded it like a triangle. I just have a tiny triangle. Then I bring the triangle up and then make a bow. That makes no sense. I promise I will make a tutorial on it, but hopefully you know how to tie it. It's really not hard. You'll see when you do it too. It's one of those things. It's like obviously how it goes. And then I just clip those in place. You definitely want to do this if you're going to sleep because you don't want it to fall out. So I clip 2 on the sides and then 1 on the back. Then you're going to want to go to bed, or like me, just go to Target and let random people stare at you. It is the next day. I think. I don't actually know. I'm still wearing the same robe. Anyway, so what you're gonna do is just drop those pin curls. So you're gonna want to be careful with them. You're not gonna lose your curl, but you don't want to create any excess frizz when you're doing this part. And I always roll them around my finger forwards on both sides. That just helps me get less frizz and it just turns out better. And then you're gonna look kind of like Shirley Temple, and that's awesome. So what I'm using right now is Lady Luck Smoothing Serum. I'll also leave a link to that in the description. Love this stuff. I use this when I start to break up my curls, just get a little bit on my hands, and I basically use my hands as a giant brush. And just shake it real good. Okay, yeah, stop. Taylor, stop. Oh, and you might forget clips because your hair might be thick. And you have no freaking idea they're in there. I think I do that every time. There's always a missing clip. So just shake, 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 shake. I don't know what I was looking at, but... Alright, so now we're going to take your teasing comb. And I always do this step at this part. It's just easiest for me. And I just tease a couple layers just to give myself some volume. Not too much though, because I kind of like not having too much on the top of my head. I don't know. Maybe I'm just weird. After that, I'm going to smooth it with my beautiful pink smoothing brush. You're going to want to be careful on the top of your head. Obviously, I don't brush through these curls a lot. Like I said, this is a minimal brush out pin curl tutorial. So I just smooth the top down. And after that, we're going to take our Lady Luck pomade. Also, link will be in the description. And I'm going to work that into my hands. I rub my hands together just to get it warm. And then basically do the same thing as when I shaked it out. But this time I'm being more deliberate with it and kind of sculpting stuff and trying to get it to lay where I want it. This time I also do use a brush. So you're gonna want to use a brush, but you really don't need to use it that much. I used it on the front section just so those curls would stay better together. And then as you can see, I'm using my teasing comb just to tease under my hair, just so the curls stay together better. But this step really isn't necessary if you just kind of like that loose curl look. But I like to break them up a little bit and then kind of just lump them together so it just looks like this big curly awesomeness that it is. Alright, so we're going to take my bang section. Also, this is why you wanted a big bang section, so you can do some cool stuff with it. Again, see, look guys, my hair always is in my face. It is always in my face. See, look, you just twist around your finger, boom, beautiful. Does not take much if you do not like brushing out. Tease that puppy, smooth it, and then I just made a really simple roll. I also use my pomade on this because it's awesome and amazing and smells great, and it just sets it so awesome. See, this is why I love wet sets. I haven't even put a pin in that yet, and it already looks beautiful. Well, that's it. I hope you liked the tutorial. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye!